Hi all, since this section is much longer than the previous ones, I'm going to paraphrase it to make it shorter. Technical and instructions. 3.3. Krishna explained to Arjuna, there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. 1. Try to understand by empirical, practical and philosophical speculation. 2. Try to realize by self-devotion. 436 and 437. Even if you are the most sinful of sinners, if you are situated on the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. As a fire turns firewood to ashes, so does the fire of knowledge burn all reactions to material activities. 5.17. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight to the path of liberation. 5.25. Those who are beyond dualities that arise from doubt, whose mind is engaged within, who are busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins achieve liberation in the Supreme. 5.27 and 5.28. Shutting down all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breath within the nostril, and thus controlling the mind, senses and intelligence, the transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free of desire, fear and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. 6.11 to 6.14. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with deer skin and soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses and activities and fixing the mind on one point. One should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. 6.16 to 6.17. There is no possibility of one becoming a yogi if one eats too much or little, one sleeps too much or not enough. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material planes by practicing the yoga system. 6.25. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained in full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. 7.4. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separate material energies. 8.5 and 8.6. Whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. 8.10. At the time of death, if you fix your life air between your eyebrows, and by the strength of yoga, with the undeviated mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 8.12 and 8.13. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. After being situated in yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits the body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. 8.28. A person who accepts the path of devotional services is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional services, he attains all these. And at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. 12.9 to 12.14. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop the desire to attain me. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to a perfect stage. If you are unable to work for this consciousness of me, then try the act of giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated, as in complete in oneself. If you cannot take this to practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action, for by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional services with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. 13.6 and 13.7. The 5 great elements: 1. False ego. 2. Intelligence. 3. The unmanifest primordial matter. 4. The 11 senses, which are the 5 knowledge senses, the 5 working senses, and mind. 5. The 5 objects of senses, which are desire and aversion, happiness and misery, the body, consciousness, and the will. All these comprise the field and its modifications. 13.8 to 13.12. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approach a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from all general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. 13.23. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the Supreme Proprietor, who exists as an overseer and permitter, and who is known as Supersoul. 13.25. Some perceive the Supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through the work without fruitive desires. 13.27. O Chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knowers of the field. 13.29. One who sees the Supersoul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus he approaches the transcendental destination. 13.30. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. 14.17. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops, from the mode of passion, greed develops, and from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. 14.19. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. 16.21. There are 3 gates to the hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. 17.2. According to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of 3 kinds: in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance. Now hear about this. 17.4. Men in the mode of goodness worship demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. 17.8 to 17.10. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Foods prepared more than 3 hours before eating, food that are tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and foods consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. 17.14 to 17.22. When worshipping the Supreme Lord, the Brahmins, the spiritual masters, the wise, and the elders is done with the observance of cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Then this worship is declared as austerity of the body. Austerity of speech consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material benefits but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Austerity that is performed by those with confused notions and which involves torturing the self or harming others is described to be in the mode of ignorance. Charity given out of duty, without expectation of return, at the proper time and place, and to a worthy person is considered to be a mode of goodness. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with the desire of fruitive results, or in the grudging mood, is said to be of charity in the mode of passion. And charity, performed in an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. 18.5. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up, they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. 18.13 to 18.15. According to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all actions. 1. The place of action, which is the body. 2. The performer. 3. The various senses. 4. The main different kinds of endeavor. And 5. Ultimately the supersoul. These are the 5 factors of action. Whatever right or wrong action a man performs in the body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors. 18.18 to 18.21. Knowledge. The subject of knowledge and the knower are the 3 factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the 3 constituents of action. According to the 3 different modes of material nature, there are 3 kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now here, the knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be the modes of goodness. The knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be the mode of passion. 18.23 to 18.24. The action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire of fruitive results is said to be in the mode of goodness. But the action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enact from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. 18.26. The performer is said to be in the mode of goodness when he or she is free from egotism and attachment, endowed with enthusiasm and determination, and equipoised in success and failure. There are a lot more examples of modes of ignorance, darkness, passion, and goodness, which I will skip. 18.37. That which in the beginning may be just like a poison, but at the end is just like a nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. 18.42 to 18.44. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge and religiousness, these are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. Farming, cow protection and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas, and for the Sudras there is labor and service to others.